I want to hear a real crazy crowd start singing with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? One, two, three, and let's go out to the water. Let's go out to the river. Take me in, bring us in. I don't remember what I have to do. And run out of the strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Now let's get some runs.
Yeah, let's get some runs. Come on, don't mess around. Let's get some runs, guys.
Somebody big just died. Legendary rocker Ozzy Osbourne is dead at 76 years old. And my friend Mike North is here to help deliver his eulogy. Mike, that's got to be the worst anthem of all time, seventh inning stretch of all time, right?
First of all, I did a couple podcasts, and one I did earlier today. I for some reason my chair wasn't positioned right, so I'd have my head out of the picture. So I want to make sure I'm in the middle. Number one, Joe. Number two. I hadn't seen that thing in a long time. And it was so bad. It was great. It was so good. And this look on Mr. Straight-Laced, how you second baseman out there, Steve Stone, was priceless. To me, Ditka, who told me the story about the late, great Ozzy Osbourne, they were in a traffic jam. So he had to almost get out of the car. In fact, he got half out of the car and asked the traffic, it's Mike Ditka, can you hold up for a minute bit? We got to get onto Michigan Avenue. So, they get to the Cub game finally. Get off, get on to Edison. They finally get there. He was out of breath when he started sinking. That's why he sang so fast. And then you have Steve McMichael. Okay, that was the third one when he's challenging Angel Hernandez. So, But by far, for comedy, for theater, for just learning the song 38 seconds ago, that they said 1, 2, at least they did that. One of the great, funniest bits of all time. I know we have to sit through the whole thing. I wish we had a separate just cut of that, because I'll be honest with you, folks, I hadn't seen it in so long. I could watch that 5 more times, because the mumbling and the stumbling. But see, that's when I loved them, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, some people, Errol Flynn said he lived a life of 2 men. Other people have lived a life of 4 men. There's more people that live 2 different lives than we know. Who knows? Maybe I'm talking to one. Anyway, he could be a billionaire from Tuscany, Joe. He could be doing this just as a hobby. But no, it's turned into big money, number one. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, first of all, Cumberland Chapels Funeral Home. Joe's very shocked, very surprised. Wasn't looking forward to doing this until 15 minutes in when I forgot. 8300 West Lawrence Avenue in Norridge, Illinois. Anthony Lupo, Peter Martino. I love them. We couldn't do the show, believe me, without them. Dignity. Are you kidding me? That's on their business cards. I was looking at the top right. I hope that's not a current picture of Miss Michelle Newhouse. You don't know when these pictures are released, but that young face stood up among them all.
Yeah.
I will say this. It's never happy. I mean, I look at those pictures. They were all vibrant people at one time, and now they're gone. You go give them the proper respect. 4 or 5 chapels, and you have the parking, and you have everything else for the vestibule, nice discussion area. They have rooms where you can have your family sit down for something to eat and stuff like that. Cumberland Chapels. Then you go to Pennyville Station, Tony Antonacci's Palace. He's building another one just down the street, different theme. Doesn't even have a name for it yet. It's going to be a double-decker. Going to have a rooftop type of situation there. So Pennyville Station's going to be this place at 112 Main Street in Park Ridge, Illinois. We love them. Tino Antonacci's been my friend for 35 years. When I just got my Lifetime Achievement Award from Barrett's Media, he was there with me. He was as responsible for letting us have that restaurant. We all made money with that beautiful Basta Pasta show that we did. Someday maybe the tapes will be released. The top interviews ever from Pete Rose to Harold Ramis in the movies to Daniel J. Travanti, Carlton Fisk. I mean, some of the great Jake LaMotta. Well, we had people flown in. It was just magical. But life goes on, and so does Libations at Pennyville Station, 112 Main Street. I don't think I've ever had two better sponsorships back to back as I just did.
Just kiss, Mike.
Oh, God, I can't believe it. But you know what? I can't believe either. What I said earlier. I mean, I just read them off. And in fact, on my Odds Couple show, which is on, just check your local listings tomorrow afternoon. I believe. What time do the Cubs play tomorrow? Because I usually play after the game.
I think it's 1 o'clock.
Okay, so I'll be on after the White Sox. If I'm stood after the White Sox post game show with Jeff Miller of ESPN 1000.
Tomorrow's a night game. It's a 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So then we'll be on probably
6 o'clock Central.
Right. Okay, so I'll probably be on about 1 o'clock. I'll find out. I'll put it out on Twitter tomorrow for sure, folks. At North to North. So make sure you check that out because I got to promote the shows today. And thank you, Foster. We appreciate the service. Just like the salesman I met at Cumberland Chapels one time said to me, "Here's my card." I looked at it and it said, "Thanks for smoking." I mean, it's a vicious business. What can I tell you? Anyway, and Joe still gets a kick out of that one. I got to be honest with you. That's marketing, mister. Anyway, great, shocking 13 deaths in less than 2 months of major celebrities. I read them off on ESPN 1000 today. Everybody from Michael Madsen to Bobby Jenks. The rock world's taking a beating. Bobby Sherman, Lou Christie, Ozzy Osbourne. Well, we got Hulk Hogan tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It's been I got a busier schedule than the Chicago Firemen, to be honest with you. Joe and I are on call 24 hours. Joe is
Dakota.
We have a Dakota, which is a secret word nobody knows about, and there's a red light that starts flashing like the goalie light in Joe's room when it's time
it's like the bat phone from the Adam West.
Yeah. Speaking of bats, we'll get to them in just a minute. That's a purpose segue, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and Ozzy Osbourne was born December 22nd, 1948. He lives to 2025. Now, let me just say this. I went and I read, like I prepared for every show. I don't know everything about everybody, folks. I was not a metalhead. Okay. In a way, I wasn't. I had two metal bands I swore by. Okay. The original, Alice Cooper. Okay.
Yep.
All you have to do is listen to songs like School's Out.
School's Out for the Summer. Yeah.
Elected. Just listen to those. Okay. Then I liked Axl Rose. Okay.
Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
Guns N' Roses. Those are my two. Okay. Then I like other bands that are like Van Halen, stuff like that. But Joe knows I'm not a metalhead. But those two guys, Alice Cooper, to me, Ozzy Osbourne took his act. Took Alice Cooper's act. And if we can get a picture up after Joe's done with Ozzy Osbourne of Alice Cooper in his prime. Ozzy Osbourne took Alice Cooper to a good level and to a bad level. I think Joe would agree with that.
I would agree with that.
I was not an Ozzy Osbourne fan. I don't like guys or people that bite off the heads of doves at a CBS meeting in a negotiation for albums. You're killing animals, biting the heads off doves and freaking out the CBS executives. You've been banned from buildings. You've been fired from bands. You were the ultimate non-professional, in my opinion, as far as the way you acted, the way that you were with drugs. You were the worst you could possibly be as a human being. And I say this only because I can't believe, and there's Alice. That's the guy that Ozzy Osbourne took to a more obscene level. And Alice Cooper is just fine. His career is still thriving.
Still going.
Still going. So I'm not an Ozzy Osbourne fan. But, as I've said on this, I honor the men for their greatness on their genre. I could care less if I like them or not. That's the way it is. Is he revolting for what he did? Thought there was a fake bat and bit the head off of that. It was a real bat. It's just the BS that the guy gave. The drugs the guy did. The times he ruined his bands. Am I right, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had some drug fueled benders over the years. You know, the drugs did a toll on his body.
Wait a minute, he was on drugs, folks, after being fired from Black Sabbath. Listen to this.
There he is in Black Sabbath. He's pretty high right there.
Right. Joe's taking a wild guess, folks. He doesn't know for sure. He's just going by the trend. Here's what I'm going to tell everybody. He got fired from back. Now, we've all been told we don't want you, right, Joe? We've had that happen to us.
Sure.
I decided to try to get another gig. Okay, you did. You had to support your family.
Yeah.
I didn't make, I guess, enough money or didn't care enough to go on a 3-year, every day straight, 14-hour alcohol and drug abuse bender. 3 years. Do you know what kind of constitution, folks, you have to have? Then mix in the cocaine and the other years. And then look at the accomplishments. He outdrank his bandmates. He helped probably kill a couple of them or make them older before their day because of he's on drugs right here. He said he did drugs every day since he could remember. But his accomplishments, we'll talk about in a minute. I will tell you this. I have never said this on this show. The early years of Ozzy Osbourne, okay, the early life and the musical career and the dismissal of Black Sabbath is, I don't know if Joe read it, it is some of the most confusing and brutal type of situations you could have between Ozzy and his bandmates. Okay?
Well, sure.
But, and there's the Cubs going, Kerry Wood's going, who is this guy? And that's the point I want to make. I was an Alice Cooper guy. I was an Axl Rose guy. When we were younger, we were more into the rock, into the Paul Revere and the Raiders, our crew, into the soul of Motown, into the Beatles, into the Stones. We weren't in to heavy metal, but we knew there was a market. In fact, Crazy Train sold a couple million. Singles.
Sure.
Okay. And it's still a famous song. But when we were younger, we didn't know. Nobody told anybody who the lead singer was. It was Black Sabbath. That was the deal. Now, the hardcore fans knew who the lead singer is, just like I know who the lead singer is of certain bands that I like. But there are bands that transcend just the lead singer. Ozzy transcended that. He was in the Jim Morrison crowd. The Doors, you knew who the Doors were, but you knew who the lead singer was without saying it. You didn't have to say Jim Morrison, the Doors. David Ruffin from the Temptations never got that. He ruined his whole life because he wanted it to be David Ruffin and the Temptations, where everybody knows you were the lead singer. Okay? So Ozzy never really, he didn't promote himself, but he did through his antics. And he put his bands in a tizzy. Yet they managed to become one of the greatest, if not the greatest metal band of all time, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Black Sabbath, a lot of people put them at the top of the mountain. I mean, when you talk about best rock/metal bands, Black Sabbath has to be in the conversation.
Now, what did you hear on the regular tube? You just heard the fluff, and you just heard some of the heavy metal. You didn't hear the nonsense and the drugs, which are, they could have a movie about this guy.
And they will. I guarantee you they will.
Yeah, and it would be unbelievable. Just that he stayed alive till the age of 76. Now,
yeah,
he died at Jordan's in Buckinghamshire, England. His nicknames, which I like to call Joe, the Prince of Darkness, and the Godfather of heavy metal, and singer, songwriter, media personality. They went to do albums that should have been done in 2 weeks. It would take them a year because they couldn't. They would show up to the sessions and none of them were on the same page because they were annihilated. okay, at like 10 in the morning, 12 in the morning. And then they'd have a good day, and then they'd do it, and then they'd have another 2 weeks. Yet they had all these accomplishments. His spouse was Thelma Riley from 1971 to 1982, and Sharon from 1982. They had 6 kids, including Amy, Kelly, and Jack. All right. So I go through the controversies, Joe. As you know, he had many. But then something happens. A guy I could care less about, a guy that I thought was the jerk of jerks. Okay. I start watching the show.
Sure.
I started watching the show. I watched Kelly and Jack. I'm just being straight up, folks. It was great. Better than most of the reality shows, am I right, Joe, that you would see today?
The Osbournes was great. I watched it too back in the day.
Okay, tell me your opinion of that show compared to the other reality shows that they tried to pull off. I thought when it came into realism, because of the way he was, because of his unpredictability, that
It was
Ozzy
so real.
made
It
that
was so
show,
real.
right? It didn't
Genuine.
seem scripted.
You can't make up some of the stuff that happened on that show.
Right. So it didn't seem scripted. So something happened. What this basic degenerate did, okay, is become a successful rock and roll guy, but then go mainstream by, I think, with the only reality show I've ever watched. I don't watch all the other nonsense. I don't watch the Kardashians. I don't watch this. I watched this for one reason. Him and Sharon pulled it off like, hey, there's no script.
Yeah.
There is no script. Jack's out of his mind. You know, the kids are having issues. The dogs are crapping in the house. Okay. So Mike North, who could care less about any of these reality shows, became a fan. And I think that's what happened to millions of Americans.
Definitely.
Because what they saw was an imperfect man with a lot of problems, with the wife that he needed to steer him through all the turbulent times. And I have one just like her.
I was going to say, you definitely connect with that, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, she just is behind everything that I do, and she guides me. I'm not ashamed to say it, you know. I see, I get up and there's a new pair of shoes. I didn't buy them. I mean, you know, I still have the holes in shoes in my pants. I'm a guy. That's just the way it is. But she became the show. Ozzy became the attraction that would come out and give you the blubber and stuff like that. But the family was like the rock and roll Sopranos. The rock and roll Sopranos.
Yeah.
Right? You had problems. They had 2 kids, you know, and Tony Soprano and Ozzy Osbourne. You could watch those 2 shows and see parallels. The Rock father's got a problem with Jack. The Mafia father's got a problem with metal. You know what I mean?
AJ.
Well, AJ's another story for another day. He's a funny guy. But just a fantastic show. And then he starts moving around. The show makes him a lot of money. He gets dismissed from his band. You know, he became solo. Okay, Ozzy Osbourne became solo. And you know what? He came back to be honest with you, he was fired, but he was almost like Billy Martin, wasn't he? He would come back to Sabbath, and it's hard to get away from what made you. You know?
Yeah, and they got to do that last concert together with everybody, and that's why
he was in the chair, but the guy died 6 days later. What do you want? You know, somebody
sounded really good for somebody that was on death's door.
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job. It was hard to watch. I'm not going to lie to people. It was hard to watch because why I did not like his band all that much. If you were a metalhead, you had to revere him. Period. That's it. Because I knew about all this. I knew about Crazy Team. And you're right. Kathy says, I agree with you about watching the show. It's the only reality. It is. It was the best reality show. And then all of a sudden, everybody tried to do it. I mean, I won't give the Kardashians 5 minutes. I gave Ozzy Osbourne every episode.
And my wife gave me this little tidbit earlier.
I love when she gives you tidbits. It makes you
she
smarter.
did. She
Okay.
did, because I'd watch, I used to watch the Osbournes, but my wife told me, she goes, always after the Osbournes, what show came on after it? Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I shut it off.
Well, yeah, so did I, but
Well,
good to know.
Okay, baby got back. What do you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? I heard a brother say that the other day. We used to say she's got a nice
Sir
ass.
Mix-a-Lot.
She's got Mr. Mix-a-Lot said it first, and then I said it earlier back in the 60s. She's got a nice ass. And then it went to Bump and other things. But speaking of Bump, they had the Ozfest.
Still going Ozfest.
He became like hard rock's Hulk Hogan. That's what he did. He became hard rock's Hulk Hogan. He had reality shows. He was making money hand over fist. But here's the deal. He put so many drugs and so much alcohol in the system. I mean, I haven't drank since I was 54. I haven't drank for 18. Jimmy Irsay always has to make it. The esteemed owner of the Indianapolis Colts at one time, ladies and gentlemen. But I still have some alcohol in my body from when I stopped, I think at 54. So, I mean, Ozzy Osbourne has to have drugs in his body. He had to have drugs still working in his body from like months ago.
Sure.
And he managed to do this. He got into production, TV. Sharon ran the show. Let's not be stupid here. And she was the businesswoman. And he was filled with controversies, beating, like I said, the head off the bats and everything else. His personal life, he had 15 tattoos. One had Ozzy across his knuckles. Okay. He suffered minor burns in a minor firehouse that he had. On his 65th birthday, he asked fans to celebrate his birthday by donating to the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity. So he was trying to go mainstream, turn his life around. There he is. Here's what I will say about Ozzy Osbourne, too. He was a good father.
Yeah,
he was a good father. He's the guy that said, why wouldn't you do drugs? Why wouldn't I do drugs? A lot of people do drugs because it's such it's a goofy world. But he did it to the extremes. And his religious beliefs, he was a practicing member of the Church of England. He was a Christian. He said he didn't go to church, but I don't think you have to go to church to believe in God. So once again, I agreed with that. His relationships, he had a couple of relationships. He had two wives, 3 kids with one wife, and then with Sharon, he had three kids also. Now, his drug use, Osbourne used alcohol, street drugs, tobacco, prescription drugs for his entire life. He admitted to Sounds in 1970, I get high, I get effed up. What the hell's wrong with getting effed up? There must be something wrong with the system. If so many people have to get effed up. I never take dope or anything before I go on stage. I'll smoke a joint or whatever afterwards. Black Sabbath bandmate Tommy Iommi said that while all the band were involved with alcohol and other drugs of various degrees in the 70s, Osbourne had the unhealthiest lifestyle of them all. He had health issues, which were more mental, and then he ended up with Parkinson's disease.
Such a shame.
Well, I think that a lot of people that get this disease, like Muhammad Ali got it, you look at what they did to their bodies, whether it was mental, physical, alcohol. I'm not saying Ali got beat up and his body took a beating. Then he ended up getting Parkinson's. Ozzy Osbourne, they say that he put more drugs in his system than most anybody in the history of rock and roll. And he survived to talk about it. And you have to salute anybody, Joe, that talks about it. And I want to give condolences to Sharon.
And the whole family,
We as Americans, I can speak for the blue collar man, the common man. We as Americans loved you guys. And I know you love being in America. Yeah. And you impressed me as a family. As screwed up as your kids seemed at the beginning and as crazy as Ozzy was, Sharon, you were a rock that kept him going. And I will say this. It's the only reality show I ever gave a damn about.
The best. And Mike, I did go back, and by the way, I did pull the 7th inning stretch just for you by itself. So whenever you want it, I'll put it on for you.
And then I want your last impressions of Ozzy when we come back, Joe.
Sure, but for those of you who missed it at the beginning, and
it's the
anyone
best.
out there, it's
Enjoy
the best
yourself.
7th inning stretch ever. Check it out, Wrigley Field, Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon.
Ozzy Osbourne. All right, Chicago. I want to hear a real crazy crowd start singing with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and let's go out to the bar. Let's go out to the room. Take me in and bring us in. I don't remember what I have to do. And run out of the strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Now let's get some runs.
Yeah, let's get some runs. Come on, don't mess around. Let's get some runs, guys.
If you told him he was at a soccer match in Manchester, he would have said thank you. I mean, he had no idea what was going on. That's the greatest ever. I was laughing while Joe could see me. I was laughing as the whole thing was going on. I mean, it's special. And Steve Stone is trying. And then Stone tries to yell Cubbies. And Ozzy at one point, it'd be nice to share.
It's an all-time classic.
Your last impressions of the great Ozzy Osbourne, my friend.
Ozzy, for me, is rock and roll royalty. He's metal royalty to some people, but for me, he's the seedlings of rock. Black Sabbath, some of the best songs ever. Paranoid, Iron Man, just War Pigs, iconic songs that will live on forever. Crazy Train, you'll hear just at about every sporting event until the end of time. Unbelievable music, unbelievable talent. Sure, drugs took a toll on him, but it happens to a lot of rock stars. Ozzy, it happened to a lot. But at the end of the day, Ozzy's music's going to persevere. He is rock and roll. If there's a rock and roll Mount Rushmore, he's on it. And just Ozzy's music will forever be with me. Iron Man, as Cliff says in the chat, was fantastic until it was overplayed, which is true. But, sometimes that's just a song that really hits just right. But Ozzy's music, Mike, it'll go on forever. Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. And let's be honest, the reality show keeps him in pop culture until the end of time.
Yeah, that sealed it. That was a final nail in making him an icon. That's one of the great things, and I'm glad you covered some of the music that he did, Joe. And you're right, Crazy Train for sure is going to be there, but some of the other songs are going to be there too. We're going to be saying our goodbyes here, and I want to say that I hope everybody watches this show. Joe and I put a lot of work into it. We salute Ozzy Osbourne. We revere him for his greatness. We had Chuck Mangione die. He wasn't big enough to make this show. He's going to get an honorable mention there, and I think Joe's got a picture of Chuck Mangione. And Chuck was one of those guys. There he is, as he was older. He died at the age of 86. Great Italian American Hall of Fame. He was hot for a short time, the 70s, 60s, 70s. That's a lousy trumpet, but he could play the trumpet. He could go. He hit the spotlight for a brief time. He's our honorable mention guy tonight because of Three Giants. If it was another week, that's right, Cliff. Everybody's there played the trumpet. The Chuck Mangione song. He just happened to go the same week that three iconic people went, and we're going to have Hulk Hogan tomorrow, 10 o'clock. We hope you joined tonight's show. Continue to support our sponsors. There he is. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, it will be out there, folks. Hulk Hogan. In the meantime, condolences to Ozzy Osbourne's family and to his fans and to Black Sabbath. Good night, everybody.
In a very special closing to the show, check this out. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne.
It's my very last concert, Jack. It's the end of the road, baby. I'm coming home. And this is what you got to do at the end of every show. You put your hand in the air, you put your face out down, you put your heart in your hand, and you say good night. There. You say good night. There. And then what do you say?
Good night. We love you all.
That's the way to go, boy. See you soon.